Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Claire and today I am going through a week in review. So every week I like to go through and just touch base on what did I plan to do the week prior, how did I get on, and all of that good stuff. So it's currently Tuesday following the week that just ended. I do a Monday through Sunday week. So as always, I'll kind of just speak through it, but I'll have the screen showing kind of what I plan to do. So on the 23rd, that was a pretty busy day for me because I was leaving on the 24th very early in the morning to go home for a few days for Christmas. So essentially it was wrapping up all of my prep, so making sure all of the gifts were either in the car if able or kind of ready to go to the car by the door. Getting kind of like the final house clean done just so the house was decent for when I returned, but also for the pet sitter that was looking after all of my babies while I was away. I did have some stuff I wanted to wrap up for YouTube, so in terms of making sure I had the videos to get me through the rest of the Vlogmas, so I did get through to the 24th every single day. And then the rest of last week following that, I did want to do a couple other videos, but I was really just trying to actually enjoy being home for the few days. And then when I got back to where I'm living right now, just really busy trying to get a bunch of school stuff wrapped up. So didn't get as much done as I was hoping. I've also been sick the past couple of days, so you'll probably hear it in my voice, but just kind of a week where I took the signs to try to slow down a little bit and kind of take it easy. So I did get all of the YouTube done just to make sure that I was able to do that for myself. I did bring in the firewood. I did some of my schoolwork for my statistics course that I was working on. And then it was really just kind of getting stuff ready for the pet sitter. So putting some instructions together for all of the animals, and all of that type of stuff. So my video that went up on Monday was my weekly plan. So that was just basically setting my planner up. And then the one that I had ready to go for the Tuesday was the week in review. So moving to Tuesday, essentially I got up at about 6. I took the ferry over to the mainland. I got to my sister's, I would say around 11. So it's a decent little journey to get there. It was just like a pretty chill kind of visit day. Just had some time with family, and then in the evening we had appies, we had time to just kind of sit and watch a Christmas movie, and it was just like a nice little relaxing family time, so that was really lovely. On Christmas Day, so what we do is we get up, we open presents first thing in the morning, and then we just kind of had a pretty chill day again. We had Christmas dinner, but just like a pretty relaxing Christmas. I did do some homework after Christmas dinner just because I wanted to at least wrap up one of my assignments. So everyone was kind of just watching a movie, and so I took, I think, about an hour or two to kind of wrap up that part of the unit, get an assignment in, just so I could personally relax a little bit more. I do have a sticker here for favorite gifts, so I got a lot of really thoughtful, lovely gifts. So the couple that I have here, I did get like a binding machine from my mom, so that was like my big present this year. And essentially what I'm going to use that for is it will allow me to do spiral binding so that I can print out some of like my journal workbooks, my Overcome the Overwhelm workbook, and potentially even my planner if I can find bindings that are big enough. And I can do that, and I may even break my planner down to a quarterly because it's got a couple pages per day, and I think it would function better as like a 12-week planner. So I'm really excited to like get that going, get everything set up, and really be able to start to expand into some more like physical products for my Etsy shop. On Boxing Day, so that was essentially we woke up. We do have a family brunch on Boxing Day. I also, before I left, my car battery needed changing, so I did that at my sister's house just in case I needed help. And I did wind up needing help just getting the clamps back in place to hold the battery still so it doesn't shake around. But surprisingly simple to change a battery in my car, so that was nice to kind of do. And then on the way to the ferry, I was able to see one of my friends and her 2 kids. So her daughter I hadn't met yet, and they just moved back to BC kind of not too long ago, so we haven't been able to see each other as I'm on the island, she's on the mainland, and one of my oldest friends. So it was just nice to see her, catch up. And we actually wound up going to the park that was directly across from where I grew up in terms of where my house was. So just a nice little like walk down memory lane kind of thing in general. I had a ferry that evening, so essentially had my visit, and then I just drove straight through to the ferry, got the ferry home, and then I was home by about 9 or 9:30. So that day was kind of pretty much spoken for. I couldn't get a lot of extra stuff done there, but really beautiful day. On Friday, so I did some schoolwork on Friday and on Saturday. That was basically what a lot of my days were. I was originally trying to get my stat exam done, like my final exam, before the year ended. But essentially what I've come to realize is I could try to get it done really, really quickly and probably not retain anything I learned, and also probably sacrifice my grade a little bit or give myself a little bit of grace, because my first 4 assignments, like I have A's on everything, and I don't really want to lose it all just by trying to do the final too quickly. So essentially I'm just going to give myself a few days to work through the last unit, get that assignment done, make sure I study properly, and then kind of do the exam without it being super rushed. So that's my plan. And then after I decided that, I wound up getting really, really sick the past couple days. So it was kind of nice to take that pressure off and be able to kind of be in that zone before I kind of got taken out with sickness. And again, Sunday, I did a little bit of school. I was working on my assignment. I had a couple questions for the chapter I had just read. So I've done part of that, but I need to go back through some of the material. But that was pretty much my week. So it was very much focused on kind of holidays, slow pace, as you can kind of expect. Tried to do a little bit of cramming of school when I got home, but it wasn't sitting right in terms of absorption of the information that I really needed to absorb. Looking at the weekly goals, so these are the goals that I set for this week at the beginning of December, because I wanted to try planning out like the full month ahead. So my original plan was to have stats done like much earlier and then do my finance final and have that wrapped up at the end of December. But what I'm going to do instead is really just attempt to wrap up my stats course, hopefully this week. I think should be a fine pace, and then do the finance course after, see how quickly I'm able to get that done, but kind of take the pressure off a little bit. Plan Miss, I did successfully do that, so that's really exciting. I wanted to do my 2025 goals and planning, so a lot of that I'm doing today. So it is New Year's Eve right now, but I'm just taking the day, despite feeling a little bit under the weather, to go through, think about like my reflection of 2024. Super heavy year for me. A lot of stuff happened, very transformative year. And so just like taking the time to reflect on that and thinking, what do I even want for 2025? Setting some goals. So I've done a little bit of that this morning. I had a course that I wanted to launch for my journal course, but I did decide a couple weeks ago that my focus will be school, getting school wrapped up, wrapping up those last few courses, and then really going all in on all of my business stuff when I can really focus on it. I was also hoping to create like an end of year reflection worksheet, but again, just not really in the cards with how I'm feeling and all of that. So again, giving myself a little bit of grace there, but it's been a little bit of a rocky go. In terms of my journaling, meditation, creation, I did journal some days. I didn't track it. I didn't take my planner with me when I went to my sister's. So I didn't track it, but honestly, I didn't journal while I was away. I think I journaled on the 23rd and the 24th. And then I don't think I journaled the rest of the week. I think I just picked it up for the first time yesterday, which was Monday, and just took some time to kind of reflect. Meditation, I haven't done any formal sit-down guided meditation, but as I mentioned before, I listen to binaural beats at night, so kind of get that meditative aspect then, but not like an intentional meditation, so I didn't check any of those off. And then in terms of creation, I really didn't do anything. I was very heavily, as I mentioned, focused on family and then focused on school when I returned home. Looking at my overview of what did I plan at the beginning of the month and where did I land. So we'll start with business. So I completed my plan miss, so that's definitely my highest priority item out of all of that. And I would say all of the rest I didn't do. I did one blog post, I did one newsletter, but aside from that, a lot of that's getting pushed back just because I shifted my priorities after the month started. Got a lot more done on my school than I was kind of thinking in terms of some of my challenging stuff. Totally changing my plan for next semester. So in terms of school, for my statistics, I am on the final unit. So I've technically got 2 chapters left to read, so really close and then my final. So I've got 4 out of the 6 boxes marked here because I have 5 for the units, 1 for the final. So getting really close to finishing that. My management business ethics course, I wanted to get this one done, but I ultimately have decided to push that one back. So that one will be something I hope to do probably in Q1 of 2025. So that would be by the end of March. My readiness rationales, I did all of those. Finance, I was hoping to complete finance, but that is something that's getting pushed to January. So I'm really going to try to push to get that one done within January, kind of as quickly as I can without totally burning myself out. For personal, so my instruments I didn't do, but again, I'm thinking once school is done, I'll have a little bit more balance in my life. Daily mindset work. So for the 4th quarter, definitely a little rocky. I always find when I go away, I fall out of a lot of my routines. So that's totally normal. The ones that I added this week is enjoying the holidays. So I do think I kind of took the time. I wasn't like studying the whole time I was at my sister's. So I felt really good about that. And then my 2025 vision board. So that's something I'm planning on doing today, tomorrow, maybe the day after with the new year kind of prep that I'm doing. I always like to do my vision board like right as the year starting or kind of ending during this transition time. So that one should be good. And then I was able to check off in terms of my winter bucket list, the wrapping Christmas gifts, and the family time. So overall, been a little bit of a rough week for productivity with not feeling well and being away for, half of the week. But overall, really feeling good about the progress so far. And then today's the last day of December, so I will probably wrap up hopefully the vision board today. If not, that will be kind of within the first couple days of January, but feeling pretty good overall. There's obviously a lot of unchecked stuff here, and most of the stuff that is checked off is for school, which definitely aligns with what I decided my top focus was for the month. And then in terms of personal, we're a decent amount through that, winter bucket list, through all of that stuff. So feeling really good. And then I'm really excited, hopefully kind of mid to end of January. That's when I'll wrap up a lot of my courses for school and I'll be able to really go all in on my business stuff and start to get through those a lot more quickly. So that is how we're looking for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day and week ahead.